Should body count matter?
I'm so tired of
I
damn
think-
conversation.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Are
No.
we raising it if we think it should?
Not
or
at
if we think it
all.
shouldn't?
Raise if you think body count. No, raise your hand if you think body count shouldn't matter, should not matter. Raise them high. Raise them high.
I'm like, there's an in-between
Yeah.
raise. I mean,
I think
it's
it
like
doesn't
to a
matter to a
certain
point.
degree.
To a point.
There's a line where it's a concern.
Should matter. Shouldn't matter.
Obviously, my dumb ass is gonna say it shouldn't matter.
Okay. Well, so with that said, for those of you, well, we're going to ask everyone, but if body count shouldn't matter, what's your body count?
We've already been over this. I don't
Yeah,
know
but
my
it's
number. I'm
new
not some
stream, new
fucking
stream,
weirdo.
new stream.
Okay, I'm not a weird high school boy that keeps it in my notes. It's definitely.
But you know it's over what?
I know it's definitely over like 50, probably over 90.
Probably over 150.
Definitely not over 150.
You said last time you said
Yeah. I don't think it's like I don't know. Like I wouldn't say it's fucking like 200. Like I feel like that's crazy.
throw under the bus. Come on, guys.
I don't
Dude,
know.
I've been
Trying to
I've
get us-
I've
We
been
discussed
through-
this as a house.
I
Her
will-
answer was, I think it's about 200, including men and women.
Yes. That was last time. Wait, how old are you again?
I'm 29.
21.
When did you start having sex?
Pearls going in.
I consensually started having sex when
Oh,
I was 15.
15. So this is all in 6 years.
It's not that. Okay. I'm just-
I don't think it's 200. I honestly don't think it's anywhere close to 200. I think it's more close to 100.
Wait, you're
but that
fr-
doesn't
Even-
make it better.
Even if it's like 100, do you feel like sex has changed for you since you like had a lower body count to a higher, or do you feel like it's the same?
Yeah, I think sex has definitely changed for me from probably like when I was in a polyamorous relationship. I think that changed my perspective of sex a lot because I was deeply in love with somebody and I kind of changed my way of like what I thought I wanted in a relationship to appeal to them because I wanted them to be with me so badly that I was willing to watch them, you know, enjoy other people with me, which isn't something that I was originally like super okay with in hindsight in the beginning. And like now that I've kind of like clearly experienced things, I think for me eventually, I'm not saying like right now or in the near future, I don't know what the future holds for me, but I just wouldn't say like I'm going to not want to like chill and then settle down eventually and find the right person. But I'm also like aware that like me coming on the internet and broadcasting something
Right.
that most people are not comfortable sharing, like a lot of women will sit there and lie and just completely manipulate their narrative into being, oh, my body count's super fucking low. I've never been that type of person that's not gonna, I'm bold as fuck. I will say, I'll hold my truth. Like, I do not care. Like, at least I don't lie about my shit. That's all I have to
Oh
say.
my God. Sweet Tooth, thank you for the 20 gifted. Continue.
Out of the like roughly 100, 150,
Whatever.
like
yeah.
whatever,
200.
yeah, whatever it is.
They threw
how
out
many?
you
I'm
under
just
the bus.
curious. How many would you say you loved?
Probably only like 5.
Wow.
And I probably didn't hook up with like a good like 80 of them again.
Like most of it was just
Like one night
stand.
stands.
How many
Yeah.
would you say you enjoyed? Like percentage-wise?
Probably barely any. right?
Probably like 20 to 30%.
Percent? Or number?
Like number.
Okay.
Wait, so before we continue on talking
And probably
about
most of that 30 people were women.
before we continue talking about that, I want everyone else to give their answer. So let's go start here and then move our way around.
For body count,
Yeah,
35,
35, including
including porn.
including porn.
I
Okay.
haven't been in the porn industry for
What
that
about
long.
excluding porn?
Excluding porn, I think it's 25.
Wait, so you've only worked with 10 guys?
I've only worked with 10 guys.
Okay.
I've reshot with a lot of them.
Sure.
So.
I mean, God, I don't want to like lie. I don't know that I honestly know the number. I would say if I was going to guess like around like 20. Remember, I'm the old lady here. But I definitely went through periods of being more sexually like fucking promiscuous or empowered or whatever, explorative.
Sure.
But yeah, I would say around there. But honestly, I don't know. Like I don't know.
Around 20?
I mean, it could be less.
could
15,
be more.
20.
Could be,
Could be more.
Could be more. We don't know. Kind of like your original 25, 5-year. what was
I
the
think
thing?
in the range of that, but like,
Wait, can you just scoot into the table?
I mean, yeah, in counting women, more than that. So I'd say men.
Sure. Wait, can you just scoot into the table and have the mic on the table? What about you?
Same. I'm not 100% sure on how many, but either 30 or 40s.
Not what you said in the car.
What did she say in the car?
is.
Elle,
What did I
throw
say
her
in the
under
car,
the
Elle?
bus.
Everyone wants to throw me under the bus.
Yeah, what did I say in the
What's
car,
said at the
Elle?
house if
What
we're
did she say in
going
the
that
car?
way?
We're
Then
gonna
like,
have a house fight when we get home.
It's gonna be a long drive home. You want me to start naming names?
no.
What did
What,
you say?
names
What
for
did you
you?
say in the car? What did you say? In the car? Wait, here. You don't say anything. Just go like this for how many?
I'm pretty sure this girl did not say that
What
low
did
of
I
a
say
number
in
in
the
the
car?
car. I could have sworn your ass said 45 or 50.
Didn't I just say somewhere like 30s, 40s?
That's not 45 or 50.
Okay. Well,
So wait, it's 50?
I don't know.
I know. I just really don't know.
Yeah, it could be.
Hold on just a sec, guys.
It's okay, girl. I just
One
fucking
sec.
put myself
Shh,
up.
shh,
You
shh,
need
shh.
to stop the MF cap.
What did it say?
Wait. Okay, 40-year-old. You need to stop the MF cap. I think he's saying
talking to me.
he
Okay,
thinks you're
okay.
40. I don't think you're 40.
I'm not
Are you 40?
40.
Are you
I'm
40?
not 40.
Not 40? By the
Believe
way,
it or not.
you, into the mic, please, if you can.
Believe it or not.
Okay.
She doesn't look 40.
Yeah,
at
you
all.
guys are going to have a very interesting car ride back.
Yeah,
I'm
thank
just
you for
saying.
that.
Well, I'm
Thank
actually
you.
staying here.
Oh, you're staying here?
Yeah, my boyfriend goes to school here.
He goes to UCSB?
Yeah.
Oh, convenient. Oh, we should have you on the show more often then. Okay. So, 50?
It could be.
Could be. All right. What about you, Kirsten?
6.
6. Okay. Byronique?
First off, it really ain't nobody motherfucking business. I don't like the fact that people is all about slut shaming and body count. Look, we get horny too. Us bitches like some dick. You know, we shouldn't have to. If you can't be in a relationship, you should be able to get that dick. You feel me? Like it's healthy. That's a part of being healthy. It's not just your physical. That is all a part of it. You need to get that vitamin D. Like, you understand what I'm saying? So it shouldn't be nobody shaming about how many bodies you got. A lot. You feel me? Like it is what it is. Like. And, to be honest, shit, I forgot I stopped counting after 10 because it ain't nobody motherfucking business. You could literally catch AIDS after having sex fucking one time, or, you could beat and fuck 1 million people and not have nothing. You get what I'm saying? So it don't matter.
If you had a brother, would you tell him it doesn't matter and like the girls he's picking?
Look, I tell him strap up if you want to make sure you don't die out here. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But if you want to be promiscuous, honey, it's 2023, baby. It ain't our grandparents' time no more.
No, but I meant
It's
I'm
too
not
hard.
talking about like short term. I'm talking about long term.
So what do you mean? Like if you want to get married, should you be fucking other people in your marriage?
No, I'm saying like if your brother had 2 girls to pick from, all things being equal, one slept with 50 dudes, one slept with 2. Who would you tell him to pick?
That ain't got nothing to do with it. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Like my grandpa used to say, it's about what the person is, their heart, their soul, their spirit. We don't give a fuck about who they done fuck. That don't mean and what money none of that stuff should matter.
I think the idea is like if she's been with 50 people, like how what are the odds your brother or the guy is going to be the best she's ever had? Like how is he supposed to compete with?
But it should
Is
be
that what should
about
matter?
that.
Is that
One at a time, please. One at a time.
Is that what should matter? And also, if you ask me how many
What?
of my actual committed, if you ask me how many of my relationships I've cheated on, 0. I might
Zero?
be a motherfucking slut, but I am not a liar, cheater, any of that bullshit. I do
Well,
not.
I didn't
cheat
say
on
you were a
people.
liar or
I
a
know. I'm
cheater,
just saying
yeah.
that's another stigma. It's like
But
just because my body count is high and my sex drive is high does not mean
Right.
that I can't be in a committed relationship one day when I'm
But
ready.
I
But
might
we
have
can-
been
but
with
we
anywhere
can-
from, I don't even know how many people, but my current boyfriend is the most sexually comfortable person I have ever been with. And, it's amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
But like my thing is we can make inferences based on data. And all of the data says that when women are virgins on their wedding night, that is the highest chance they have at a happy, successful
know
marriage.
why are
That's
we
because that's
you
all
know
they've
exactly
ever
why.
had. They don't know
Because
no
they don't
better.
know better.
Can I say
Wait,
something?
because
why
they
do you,
don't know
so
better.
why do you need to know better?
Shit.
Because most
Because
of the
you
time,
deserve
because
better.
most of the time, if you get better, like if you slept with 50 dudes, there's no way you're gonna keep the best guy out of the 50.
Why not? Why not? Because as you get older, you realize it's not just about the size of his dick. You learn so much through other
It's
people
also
and the
not
experience,
all
and you get it out of the
Sexual
system.
You
psychology
can
is
ask for what you want.
Hold on, wait. So to me, if you marry the girl, let's say you're 35, you're both 35 years old, whatever. Who cares about the whole like age thing? You're 35 and she slept with 50 people, you slept with 50 people. Let's just say you have somebody who's 35 who slept with one person. Women reach the height of their horniness in their 30s. Who's more likely to cheat on you because you're just not self-satisfying her because she has
Guys,
no
but
experience,
wait,
she doesn't
I'm
know
saying,
any
I'm saying
better.
this isn't even a personal thing. Like I'm talking about numbers, data.
Why are we debasing the human complex
virgin-
experience to data and statistics
Okay,
and
and I can
numbers?
take and I can take it anecdotally where the girl that's on OnlyFans is saying she's on antidepressants. Like there's more problems when you sleep with more people, and I think like
Why
I
do you think that
ignoring
is?
this-
Why do
there's
you
so
think
much
that
evidence,
is?
And I think ignoring this is just delusional.
Why do you
It's
think that is
delusional.
then? Why do you think it's-
Because
yeah.
I don't think women are meant to sleep around like that.
Why?
I think
But we have
that
needs.
OnlyFans
Because-
and antidepressants
because-
have
Well,
a
how about men? Do you
correlation
think
is
men are?
delusional.
Do we not have needs? And just as much as men want pussy, we want dick? Like, or you?
Are women horny?
Yeah.
Sure, yes, but that doesn't mean we're meant to be sleeping with a whole bunch of dudes.
But
And I think-
men are.
And I think what can attest to this is the one who waited till she was married is the one that is like, or is the one that's married here and seems to be in a happy, healthy relationship.
Could that be
That
though?
is the-
Because the
But she
majority of
doesn't like
virgins
that.
on their wedding day are religious. That is a religious thing. And in the Bible, it says that you were supposed to be with that one person for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So could that be because that is a religious thing?
I think
Yeah,
religion
absolutely.
is great. I think religion helps.
So I think it's
yes.
beautiful, but I don't.
And I think that that's if
But-
you want to make that decision for yourself, that's fine. But
I'm
don't
not-
sit here and
I'm not-
judge other
I'm
people
not-
who
Or
don't
try
want
and
to
throw
do that.
data
you
and
know?
statistics in
and
people's
I'm saying
face.
let's look at results. Like I think just like in good faith.
Like, okay, you want to
I
look at
think-
results?
Let's
I've been
look at
with
it really
maybe
simply
50
for a
people,
second.
and I'm
So-
telling you, as a person sitting
Okay.
right in front of you, that the person I am with right now is my favorite.
Okay, well, I'm really happy for you. I
Thank
really
you.
am, but I'm saying across the board, like, this is the thing with women, like, you always take it personal, like, I'm talking about you. And I'm not talking about you guys personally, but we look at society as a whole. The outcomes for women for sleeping around are not good. We're more divorced, we're more on antidepressants, we're less happy than we've ever been.
But that's not
when we
just
make
women.
these
That's men
decisions.
and women.
And that's
That's
also why I
what
said
you're
to
doing
an
it again.
extent,
You're doing it again.
you
I can't
know?
make a statement about women without saying but men. Men have issues
The thing is,
too.
you put us all in the same
but
boat.
that is-
Yeah.
No,
it's
because
creating
in
the
order
illusion
to
of
have a
double standard when-
conversation, in order to have a conversation about anything, we have to have
But
generalization.
that's also why I said, yeah, to an extent, body count shouldn't matter.
I just don't know why we
think-
can't open up the conversation to also just discuss
Yeah.
promiscuity in general.
I think that
Because
this-
you're
this
right.
is-
There's a lot of
simpler-
depression associated with promiscuity, but on both genders, it happens. There's a lot of guys who
It's
just
not the same though. It affects women more, and the data will tell you that. You're right. Like the best outcome is when they're both virgins on their wedding night. Like that is the best.
I've
I've never
outcome.
taken
If
this
we're-
survey, by
if
the way,
we're-
so they
if
don't
we're-
have
if
my
we're
data.
looking at
I'm
the
not really
best
sure
outcome-
what the source
okay,
is.
Okay, they've done multiple
I don't know
studies
if you,
on this,
they
but
have-
promiscuity.
best
Have they?
outcome, I
affects-
think you mean the people who stay together, but the people who
No,
aren't
no, they
together
asked them if
don't-
they're happy in their
not
marriage. That's what they would
necessarily-
do. They would come back 10 years later and ask if
Okay.
they're happily married, yes or no.
To be honest, living in LA, if I would have been waiting for marriage for a nigga to put a ring on my finger, I would have been dead. Like you'll fuck around and die a virgin. Like waiting. Are you kidding me? Like ain't no way.
And I just
From
wanna-
the
I just
men
wanna
you
say-
want, but 1 in 3 men are
It's just like-
sexless. So there are men that will wait, but
Yeah.
the problem is like women can sleep
In LA,
up.
I
I
No,
don't
women
think
women
so.
can sleep up. So typically women sleep above their level.
I don't disagree with you when you say that like full promiscuity is not good for you. When I got most of those sexual partners that I have were when I was young and I was not happy with myself, and yeah, I regret it, and it did make me feel good, and I spent a long time not being with anybody. But I also on the
we
wait,
agree.
wait,
We
no,
agree.
no, no,
It's
no,
not
no,
good
no,
for
no,
women.
no.
We
Hey,
were.
hey,
I
hey,
think
Pearl,
we're.
hey, I wasn't done. Okay. So yeah, I don't disagree that full promiscuity is not great for you. But I do not 100% do not agree that being with one person for your entire life is good for you.
What value?
I don't agree with that.
It's-
And I will say that because sitting at this table here, I have had the longest relationship, and I say that because a huge part of, and I'm not going to say it's superior because I'm not going to tell people how to live their lives. Everybody live a life how you want to live, you know. But I will say the simplest way I can explain it is when you involve multiple people in anything. It's very complicated.
Yeah.
And hearing all of these stories from all of you, what I hear is it's really complicated. It's really stressful. And I've actually talked to my husband about this before, but I just told him, I was like, I'm really glad that I didn't sleep with anybody before you, because it does seem like it's really stressful and it's really complicated.
Yeah.
And there is an outsized amount of risk for women. There is. We are the ones that end up on the receiving end of we are the ones that end up on the receiving end of a lot of STDs. We have the complications from that down the road. And it is risky. And so the less risk you expose yourself to, the less risk you will actually have happen to you. And so that's all I can speak to.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
the less,
I just
because
think
I've
that
only
the
slept with
problem
one
comes
person.
in when it goes
can I-
into being judgmental about it.
Yeah,
you know?
I
At
agree.
the end of the
And
day,
I'm not. It's not my
your
place
decision and
to
your
be-
decision. If you want to be with just your husband, that's fine.
But-
That's
but I
okay
think-
for
but
you.
I can't-
But
I
it's-
don't-
it
I can't
doesn't
agree with
solve
saying-
any problem.
But the
by
problem-
sitting here saying
Hold
that,
on.
it's bad for
I've been
you and
listening
you're
the whole
making
time.
bad decisions.
I am going to say this though, but you did say you don't think it's healthy to be with one person, and fundamentally, even though I understand that you don't like the stat she's talking about, and I'm not going to say that people don't have successful relationships any which way, right? It doesn't matter. There are people that have successful relationships, and they come from all different backgrounds, and they have all different body counts. But what I will say is the idea that one man and one woman only sleeping with each other is not a healthy relationship. That's not
You
true.
know, you're
Can I-
right. That's
not
probably
true.
not the words that I wanted to use, and
Oh,
you're right
that's
about
fair.
that. It's not that I don't think it's healthy. I don't think that it can be healthy. Like I don't think like
You think it sometimes
like for
can't
you,
be, is that
I
what
don't
you
know
mean?
your relationship personally.
Yeah.
And your relationship could be perfect. I don't know that.
No one's,
but I think
no one's
that,
relationship is perfect.
But you know what I mean? I don't
But it
know
is
you.
very
I don't know
happy,
you
yeah.
personally, and I don't know your relationship. But I do think that pushing the purity narrative is a really easy way to put a lot of girls in a really unsafe.
Did you hear? I didn't
position,
say anything
you
about
know?
religion. I didn't say anything about purity. I
But
said I
even
only
just
slept
saying
with
like
one person. That's all I
just
said.
like you like pushing the narrative that being with only one person it
All I
can
said
fast
was-
track women into a lot of unsafe
all I said it was
positions.
no.
You know what I
sleeping
mean?
with multiple partners can fast track you because it's like I said, more factors.
Yeah,
more
but that's
risk.
why I'm saying
But
I think it matters to an extent.
But I think
you know?
No, just fundamentally, more factors, more risk. Less factors, less risk. It's literally that simple. My life has been easier. My life has been happier because I have had
because you
less
got lucky
risk.
and you picked the right guy.
It wasn't luck. It was very intentional. And that's actually something that I think a lot of people, this is what happens with the dating apps too. And sorry, now I'm going off track.
She
but
said
like,
she dated her husband. Correct me if I'm wrong. She said she was in a 8-year, right?
Yeah, and then we got
altogether,
married
but
for
with
5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she dated him for like 3 fucking years before she.
But I'm saying that
cuffed
there
him.
are a
But
lot
it's-
of
but it's-
women
it's
who
the-
don't see that kind of man. When women are getting abused,
But no, so
that
this is
man
the
is
other
not
thing.
always abusive from day one.
But most,
you know,
I wouldn't say that most men are abusive and most
No,
women
no,
are
no, no,
abused.
no.
So, and what I'm talking about is the fact that like, because what you're talking about is you're saying that women are being put at risk by sleeping with one person only, and that's fundamentally not
I don't
true.
think that. I think that maybe you're misunderstanding what I'm saying.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I'm just saying that by pushing that narrative,
but the
it-
narrative I'm saying is that it's simpler to only sleep with one person. That's not really a narrative.
but
it's
lack
just
of
true.
experience is what puts you in
I
unsafe
guarantee
situations.
you- I
You know what I mean?
guarantee
And I'm
you-
not saying sexually. I'm just saying with people in general. When you decide like one person, that's it. You get to know someone for a long time, but you don't know who that person is until they show you who they are.
Well, then
you know.
the people you. By that logic, though, then you know the people you sleep with even less because of the amount of time I've
Yeah.
spent with my husband.
I-
so you're
I-
again exposed to more risk. Not you specifically,
Yeah.
but you, the theoretical you.
But that's why when I say like I think body count matters to a certain extent. You know
I'm
what
not
I
gonna
mean?
say it matters because, like I said, people come like I'm not gonna
Yeah.
say that. Do I think that it has an effect in the data? Yeah, but am I gonna say that it's gonna affect someone's personal relationship? I don't know. I don't know because there is data, but there are also people. I agree with what you said earlier.
Yeah, and that
Like,
kind of reminds me of you actually had this one girl on here. She was wearing like a pink mask and had a kind of accent. I don't know if you remember who I'm talking about. But she
yeah.
But she didn't she was saying something that I kind of agree with when she said, you know, you can't just narrow someone down to just a number. I agree when you say that, and I know that you're not coming from that standpoint at all whatsoever. So don't think I'm just directly talking to you.
I'm listening.
But just like when a guy hears a higher number than 6, 5, 8, whatever your statistics, whatever. I mean, I'm just saying they immediately put you into a box, and that's something that even Justin on the last podcast and him and I talked about. Like, it's just this thing where it's like this construct of, oh, I'm going to be compared to this many men, so holy shit. And I mean, I get it to an extent, but it's like, bro, if you feel like you're not up to the, like, it shouldn't even matter, because
Bro,
sex is
guys,
not the
look,
reason
it's
that.
very simple. Guys don't want whores. We don't want to date the town bicycle.
But they want you to be a whore in the bedroom. It just don't.
No, not necessarily. But look, guys care about body count. Point blank. Period. Like, it is what it is.
And
Why
that's
are we making
alright.
such blanket statements?
That's
Like we know
alright.
every man, every woman.
Generally speaking, men don't want to date promiscuous women or women with a high body count.
What's high?
I mean, it
That's
varies.
subjective.
It varies, but I
Two
mean,
could be high.
He said over 6 before, I think, right?
I
I don't
mean,
wanna put words in your mouth,
it
but-
depends. I mean, that's some of the studies indicate that once you get over 6, that's when your likelihood of, for example, divorce increases dramatically. I don't remember the exact numbers on the other
the
studies.
biggest dip is actually.
I'm going to
two,
come back on the
like,
podcast when I'm
difference.
married for 3 years. I'm going to do it.
Maybe they'll take you
But
seriously.
the whole point is, whenever men have standards, we shame them for having standards. Like if a girl, if a girl says like, I don't want to date a guy that's short and broke and fat, okay, fine, no, like they're not going to
Yep.
argue with that. But if a guy says I want a girl with a low body count, like we argue for hours and say don't judge.
I would argue with a
Don't-
woman that
No,
said
but
that they
you're
wanted
saying,
to
but
not
you're
be
saying,
personal.
but you're saying like don't judge, and I honestly
I
think
never said anything
you
about
said
that.
that you said that earlier. Yes, you did.
I never said that I was gonna judge a guy
But you
who
said-
wants to be with a girl.
No,
who's only had one partner or wants
you were
to be a
saying we
virgin.
shouldn't be so judgmental.
I
something
never
like
said
that.
I never said anything judgmental about a man who prefers that.
But we've been talking about
just
body
think-
count for the past 30
And
minutes.
I'm okay, but my whole point is that
Like, what did I say that was judgmental?
I said you said something about that we shouldn't be so judgmental.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did.
okay, that's what I'm addressing. And I'm saying,
Okay.
I don't think it's kind to act like people don't judge you for promiscuity. I don't think that's kind to women. I think it's better to be honest. And the world doesn't owe you understanding. The world will judge you for your decisions. Like, you don't get a get out of jail free card. And I think it's dishonest to say that like men don't care about that stuff and there's going to be no consequences, because a lot of you guys have said yourself that there are. Like, you've said it out of your mouth.
I want to change the
But-
subject
but
because
you
we
were-
talked
No,
about this
I mean,
for a long
I don't
time.
think that I have sat here and said that there aren't consequences.
Okay,
I
don't
think
worry
there
about that.
are.
But you were saying that there's something about value. You were upset that men value this in women, and that you're thinking that men are diminishing women's value to their body count. That's not the case.
No,
It's just
I don't think.
a metric.
I don't think.
Hold
I
on,
don't
let me
think
just
that,
finish.
though.
Let me finish. It's just a metric by which men look at a potential partner
Mm-hmm.
and decide, is this someone I want to have a relationship with? Is this someone I even want to be with?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Justin was talking about buckets, so it's like there's relationship,
Yeah.
there's relationship, and there's hookup.
Mm-hmm.
So, and a lot of guys will do that. So, like a girl who's promiscuous, they might not care so much if you have a high body count if they just want to fuck you. But for a relationship, for long-term commitment, for marriage, it's going to matter much, much more. In
No,
those
and I'm understanding of that.
circumstances.
And
Uptight
the
ass
person
dudes,
that
bro.
the person that I choose to be with in the future, I hope is understanding that my hypersexuality is something that I embraced during a time in my life, and that I can say goodbye to when I meet that person.
Well, that's convenient, isn't it?
But that's I mean, yeah, it's convenient if I'm ready for love, and that's something I want to experience next. But it's not something I'm like fucking
It's not that
like
simple.
earning
though.
for or something.
It's not that simple though, because the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. It's
And maybe
it's
I'll be alone
if you've
forever and you guys are
if you've
right.
if you've had certain, I don't know what your personal this isn't a personal thing,
No, I'm
but
just
it's
saying.
like if someone's done something for 5 years, 10 years, whatever it is, it's going to be harder and harder to quit. So the longer you like engage in certain decisions, it's harder to stop. And we don't even have to make it about like sleeping around. It could be about like if you drink every day for 10 years, it's going to be harder to stop.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
You can get over it.
We have we're on the same page.
I'm not against you on everything. I just
No,
By the way, I don't know
want to
if
be
we,
heard.
I don't know if we got to go fully around the table as far as body count goes, but or Zoe, did you answer?
No. No,
Zoe,
I didn't.
body
No.
count?
No, I really don't think it matters. Mine's probably upwards somewhere as 100. And this is my, let me just like interject a little bit because I've been waiting to talk. This is why I consider myself.
Closer to the mic, please.
This is why I consider myself very middle ground, because at the end of the day, what she said, I agree with someone she said. I agree with something she said. I agree with some shit you said. At the
Same.
end of the day, it literally comes down to the reason people are bitching about this dumb stuff is because they're so unhappy and they're projecting, right? They're like, ooh, you're wrong for only sleeping with one man in your life. Ugh, prude. Oh, you're wrong for sleeping with that many people in life. Ooh, whore. If people just minded their freaking business and worried about what truly makes them happy,
If we were just like Barbie,
holy
the world would be a better
crap, half
place.
of this stuff. That's why half of my comments on my TikTok
Oh,
videos are like,
Barbie's
she
not
just
even back
ended
there.
all relationship podcasts, because I come down to it from a human experience, right? Like, men are not here to fund your life and make you happy. Women aren't here to do whatever the fuck men think women are here to do. Fuck 'em. I don't fucking know. At the end of the day, it's like, what do you want? You want a girl with a low body count? Guess what? Go get it. You want a girl who's a whore and will just suck your dick at any point and at the time of day, at the drop of a hat? Guess what? She exists and you can find it. And that's where I find that a lot of people find solace in my content, because I love the arguments. You know what I mean? It's content. It makes the world go round. It's entertaining. But at the end of the day, if people were truly happy in how they lived life, no one would argue at each other.
Yeah.
But the fact that people are so and it's not like, oh, don't judge, only God. It's not that simple. If people were actually doing the things that make them happy,
Yeah, it's just about the
no
bigger
one would
picture.
give a shit about any of this.
Well, I
that
mean, you're
reminds
kind
me
of
of something-
you're a little bit dismissing. Like, we can have intellectual conversations about these topics, and yes, you're right. At the end of the day, if a woman with a high body count, there's going to be guys out there that don't care. There are some guys out there that don't care. But I mean, we can also have. I mean, it's even beyond just an intellectual conversation. We can also just say, hey, look, if you choose to partake in certain behaviors, if you maneuver in the world in a certain way, that's going to have consequences.
Yeah, 100%. You know, like accountability. And I know, and I always talk about, I talk about specifically that women, I feel like we lack a lot of accountability just because I'm a woman and I see it and I can speak to women. But who am I to tell a woman she shouldn't? You know what I mean? I feel like the word should is such like a, when you use the word should, you're like, you should, this is what makes you a real man. You should do these things. So make you a real woman. You should do these things. Where we're creating anxiety and unsettledness and shame and guilt in people for the way that they're living life.
I
When we
honestly
use the
agree
word
with
should.
100% of the words that just came out of this woman Zoe's mouth. Like, dead ass, like, being, I would never in my life sit here and say that this young woman right here that has not slept with anyone, or this beautiful woman right here that chose to wait until marriage
What about me?
is done anything. You're a beautiful woman too.
Thank you.
Pretty lady.
Thank
Talk
you.
about a pick me, right? I'm just kidding. But no, I would never say anything about their decision. I think that it is your body, and that is a beautiful thing that you've done, even from the opposite perspective of somebody that has done the opposite. I think that's like, if that's what makes you happy and that's what makes you think that, and whether you're right or wrong is not my decision to make, because there is clear evidence that right here sitting next to me to my right that it can work out that way. That's totally your body, your choice.
I
not
just
about to
think we
judge
should.
that.
I just think we should be honest about the consequences.
Of
And like
course.
that's my only thing is
And
I just
I'm
don't like
owning
lying.
my shit on
But
camera in
I'm
front of
not,
10,000
I'm
people.
not saying you're not.
But I feel like
Own
your
it.
I feel like a lot of comments that you make are geared towards the people that I make my comments geared towards too, right? Like, if a OnlyFans girl is like, I deserve a high value man, you know, he shouldn't care about. I'm gonna be like, no, be fucking for real. Like, no, it matters. As someone who's in the
It's not
industry,
geared towards anyone. It's just what I think.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I really agree with what you said earlier. I've been like listening the whole time, just been kind of quiet, just trying to take in what all of you guys are saying. But like, I agree with you. I really think that we should just let people live how they want to live. Like,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's not affecting you personally, so I don't see how that's a big issue.
Yeah.
Like, just let people do as they please, as long as it's not personally like getting in your life. Then I don't see the issue with it. Like.
yeah. And I just want people to look in introspectively, become self-aware, because a lot of people lack it,
Like,
men and
look
women.
at things from other people's point of view, not just yours.
People need to stop shoving it down other people's throats. Like their view is the only view that is allowed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I
People
don't
need to be
agree
more
with
in the
like
middle,
Christian
like-
views.
I don't
Who am
have
to
to
tell
live my
Christian they're
life that
wrong?
way, but I don't give a fuck if you live your life that way if you're not affecting me directly.
Like
The
me,
bottom line is that values are different from person to person,
Yeah.
and value is different
Straighten
from
your
person to
mic.
person.
Straighten your mic.
So what you may find a high value man may not be what someone next to you finds a high value
Yeah.
man, right? And same with value as woman. Like, you're saying like, if this woman is a lower value woman because she slept with many people, well, I'm sure that there are many low value women with poor integrity, lack of integrity, bad women, dishonest, who've slept with one man, right? Or none. So it just comes down to the values that you have.
There is nuance, but men generally want the same things, and women generally want the same things in general. But there is always going to be
I guess
nuance.
men
But
generally want a virgin. I didn't know this.
And then we can go to the nuance of where that stems from, but I don't, we're not actually gonna get into that. That's like, no, I mean, but
paternity, it stems from paternity because men historically had to make sure that the kids were theirs, and historically we didn't have DNA tests. So if a girl was promiscuous and sleeping around, basically like the man wouldn't know that if the kid was his. So it's not even necessarily something they can like biologically help. Like it's just how they feel about it. And like guys might lie to you about this, but like guys feel this way.
that's great. But guess what? I don't care about those guys. If those guys care about my body count, guess what? That guy is not for me because my life path has not gone down that virgin life path. Those guys were not meant for me. So at the end of the day, that opinion of what men want, I don't want those men. And that's okay. They're not wrong for feeling that way.
Yeah, they're not.
They don't want me. I don't want them. We're cool. Why we gotta argue about it? You know
That's
what I mean?
exactly
like,
why I just,
holy
that's,
shit.
that's what I said to
Yeah.
her. Like, I'm not going to say that because of statistics, you are not going to have a good relationship in the end. I'm not going
You
to
will
say
have
that.
a good relationship.
I
You'll
don't
have the
know.
relationship you want.
Yeah, no, but like, there's no way to say that. And I don't think it's dishonest to make that statement because there are rules. There's always exceptions, and not only that, but everybody is on a different path. And I think, yeah, that's just what I think. I agree with you.